everyone. Welcome to Angel Angela. I want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos and giving me a lot of input. I like how my channel is really going right now. I'm really enjoying doing this for you. And today's topic, which is really something that inspired me because of a situation that I actually went through today. And that's the narcissist at a workplace. This can go in many different ways, but what made me really just inspire me was this situation from early this morning, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I decided to go to Starbucks to get me some coffee this morning, and instead of driving, I decided to walk because it's walking distance. So as I was walking, I took a little shortcut behind this little parking lot where a lot of people run. They just usually run in the street, this little bridge, and they go through that parking lot. So a lot of people do run through there. There's also a lot of homelessness and a whole bunch of different things going on. Sometimes people just pull up in the parking lot. But I'm just walking through, and I started having just this chest pain, and I ended up sitting down. There was like a staircase to go up to another level of the parking lot where the Starbucks was at. So I just sat down on the stairways real quick, and I was on my phone. I had my headphones on, and I look up because I feel someone looking at me, and some security guards pulled up, and they start asking me questions. And I was like, are you the police or are you a security guard? Because your job is to observe and report. And they told me, well, you can't be just like sitting here in this area. I said, okay, I understand that. Well, right now I'm really like having chest pains. And I was like, I was going to go to the Starbucks, but I'm actually probably just going to get an Uber back to my house. And then he was like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, there's nothing wrong with you. And he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, are you a police officer or are you a security guard? I was like, I just said I'm going to stay here for just a couple of minutes and I'm going to get ready to leave. And he was like, if you don't leave right now, I'm going to call the police on you. And I was like, that's fine because I've been filming you since this conversation started. And he was like, are you sure that phone's even on? I was like, oh, yes, it's on. So he basically wouldn't leave and start, he basically harassed me saying he was going to call the cops. And he said that I wasn't sick, that there was nothing wrong with me. And the security car had like the phone number from the company. So I just like dialed the number right away. I was like, I'm not dealing with these people. So like, I called right away calmly. I spoke to the dispatcher. I told him, hey, I'm having like a chest pain. I just sat down in this staircase. I'm going to leave right now, but they're harassing me. They're telling me that my phone doesn't work, and they're telling me that there's nothing wrong with me. And I was like, and it's very threatening to me, two grown-ass men approaching me like that. So he was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to contact them right now. I'm going to tell them to leave you alone. So they're looking like RoboCops, like crazy psychos. I honestly believe they're narcissists. Like I said, you can kind of just tell how these people are, their personality, their demeanor, and they take everything personal. They don't like to back down. They want to be right. They don't want you to make them look stupid. They want to be in control. the whole situation, instead of thinking, okay, this person's minding their own business, they're going to leave, or let me just park right here. She says she's going to leave in like 5 minutes. Let me just park here and just watch her for 5 minutes. That's fine. Do that. You get me? Like, but don't tell me that I'm lying. Don't tell me that I'm not getting an Uber and that I'm lying. Like, to me, that was like super duper like crazy to me. So, I was just like thinking in my head, like, I'm not dealing with these narcissists. And like I said, the dispatcher ended up calling them and telling them that they had to back off and just to basically back off. And they were like, okay, I'm really sorry about that. You have a good one. And I was like, oh, no problem. You have a good one too. Like smiling at everything. Like, I really don't care because I know what you were doing and I know what kind of person you are. And I know that you don't like backing down. And I know that by me handling it the professional way and not going directly with you to argue with you, because that's what you want, you know, and you want to do that to escalate things to another level. And I was like, I'm not even entertaining this narcissist. Like, he's one of those crazy narcissists, you know, at these jobs that act really psycho. That control makes them crazy. You know, you have the lazy narcissist, and then you have the control, the controlling narcissist at your job place. And I can tell that that was the type of people I was dealing with from the start. That's why I decided to call the dispatcher. I'm sorry about that. So I called the dispatcher, and after they ended up leaving and I, you know, said bye to them, they actually made a U-turn, drove back, and they were like, laughing, and they were like, we're here to observe and report, huh? And then I was like, yeah, dumbass, like, you know, in my head. But I was just like, I knew what they were doing, but I was just like, wow, like, it just made me think about like all the people that deal with narcissists at their workplace on a daily basis. And I say this because I've had managers, supervisors that have been narcissists, and me knowing that they're narcissists, I know that I have to play stupid with them. You can't let them know that you know who they are. You can't do that. You have to play really, really dumb with them. And I mean, you have to understand that when you go to these jobs, you come to work and you go home unless you're working for yourself and you're doing something that you love. So you do have to bite your tongue unless you befriend these people. But I would never. But it seems like it's becoming a pattern where all these narcissists at these workplaces, especially places that's like, you know, not the best jobs, these people get together and they become friends, and then they become bullies to all the new people, and they start judging every new person that gets hired, and they start basically testing them out, I feel like, to see what type of person they are, if they're going to you know, if you come off really smart and like you know everything, it's going to be bad for you, because they're going to look at you like competition. And with narcissists, everything is a competition with them. So when you get treated bad, you have to think you're getting treated bad because you have what it takes, and they see it. They see that you have what it takes. They see that you could probably do a better job than them, you know, and you have better social skills than them. But they will butter people up. You know, they butter people up. They'll bring, you know, snacks and food and do little potlucks and try to bring everyone together to be their slaves. And not just that, but then you have like low-grade narcissists that come to these jobs, and their whole agenda is to just get supply. They're not really there for really anything else. Yeah, they're getting money, but for the most part, their agenda is to get supply. And sometimes we wonder, how can they move on so quickly? That's because they were never with you in a relationship with you. They were you were just another supply to them. And you have to think about it. A lot of people, when they get depressed and things like that, their family and their friends are like, you need to go out, you need to meet people, you need to go to school, you need to, maybe you need to change your job because you're not happy, and you'll meet new people. Like, they're living in the moment at all times, and you're basically stuck in the past, and you're stuck the day you met them. That's where your brain is at. It's stuck to the beginning of the relationship. Meanwhile, they are at work having a new supply, and with their coworkers and with employees or strangers or whoever. I mean, like I said, so there's two type of narcissists at a workplace. You'll figure them out once you go to work and you see that there's certain narcissists that that they might be married and stuff like that, but then they come to work and they're flirting with other coworkers, and like you'll have the boss that's like really controlling, and they look stressed out all the time, but they're mean. It's like, are you stressed? What's going on with you? They act like they're so stressed, but they're so angry all the time. It's like, and then they'll have moods where they're nice, and then you're thinking like, oh, they're not that bad. I guess they're just stressed out or something, but they're stressed out because they're having their narcissistic ways catch up to them in different ways. They're going to have customer complaints, because sometimes, a customer might complain about something, and the manager is going to act like they don't really care and they don't really want to solve the problem. Narcissists do that. They love that type of control to make customers angry too. Sometimes they don't even want to satisfy the customers, and they actually laugh about it along with their coworkers that they have that are their little puppets. They, talk about it later. They don't even want to give you the time to actually handle a situation, as far as customer service. They don't even want to help you, but then they're in charge, so you're kind of confused. But this is how those people get off, you guys, at work. And you have to be very careful with that, because you can be at work and they can make something so little and make it big. And when you try to defend yourself and you're like, this isn't right, don't even think about telling them you're going to call corporate or something. Like, they will flip out on you right there and then, and they'll call right away, and they'll get all of their little, I don't know what to call them, their little clones or whatever. And they'll make sure everyone's against you. So you have to be very careful with narcissists at work. They're very just the worst type of people to work with. It's like one thing, coming home to a narcissistic girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, fiance, whatever, partner, and then going to work for narcissistic people and being around all these crazy people with different personalities. My advice to you guys is to never let these people stress you out. Know that you're only there for your money. And if you love your job and, you love what you do, kudos to you. And if you just don't like the people around you, I wouldn't say think about relocating, because you don't know what you might get. It might be worse. I'm just letting you guys know now. But the good part is that you guys can follow your dreams, whatever it is. You can start your own business. You can keep moving forward, have different ideas. Don't let your job, your 9-to-5, control your life, because then that's going to just like mess up your mood as well. Like, me having to go through this situation, because I work for myself and I have my own business. So for me to have to go through this situation, it lets you know it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter your situation. People, you're always going to bump into narcissistic people. Yeah, they're everywhere, literally like the Walking Dead. Seriously. So just make sure you don't get bitten, don't be noticed, don't act like a little smarty pants, don't tell people that that they're narcissists, because I'm telling you, you don't want a war with them, because they play really dirty, and in the end, it's going to be you who's going to be looking crazy. So keep your sanity by knowing who you are, controlling your feelings, controlling your anger, and knowing that these people don't mean anything. You have to have tunnel vision at this point. Sometimes when I go out in public, I don't even make eye contact with people because I just don't want them talking to me. But if I do get someone who talks to me and they're really nice, like when I was at the Starbucks earlier, and I was waiting for my drink, some guy sat next to me and the chairs don't have backs to them. So he's like, "Oh, these chairs don't have backs to them. You can't even get comfortable." And I'm like, they're not supposed to have backs to them, because they're supposed to help you with how to make sure your back is, it's supposed to make sure that your back is straight. It's supposed to align your back so you won't just be, hunching over. And I was like, use those arms so you can lean in, make sure that back is straight. And, he just started laughing. And, that's the only way I interact with people. Besides that, I don't do any, interacting. I don't like looking at people, because once you do that, you're inviting them into your world. It's kind of like you're living in a movie, and it's kind of like you're living in a movie and there's all these characters in the movie, but you're paying attention to the people in the main, the main role. So it's like if these characters go into a mall and there's people in the background, you really don't notice those people unless they make eye contact and then they zoom in. You have to live your life like that in a movie, because it's like, once you make eye contact with those type of people, especially if you're out at a bar, you're partying or anything like that, it's like predator mode goes, and it's like an alarm goes on their head. Seriously. So yeah, you have to just live your life that way. Be positive. Never let them affect you. Know that there's something about them that doesn't want to change, and they sense the goodness in you. They see the light in you, and that's why they mess with you. They really do. These people, like I said, those security guards were super crazy. Literally, they came back and were, we're tops, basically they're top flight security guards or something. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. And share my video, please. And please leave me a comment and let me know if you guys have ever dealt with narcissists at a job place, and people that will get you in trouble for no reason, or a small situation turned into a big situation, or or a narcissist at work that is constantly trying to hit on you, and that they're married. Let me know, you guys. So talk to you guys later. Bye.